When picking your wedding party, first of all, just know that everybody is not deserving to be in your wedding. I learned this the hard way. I had somebody who quit on me because she did not want to buy the shoes. And keep in mind, the shoes were $19, as discussed in the first video, but she didn't want to buy the shoes. And when I tell you, everybody's just not deserving. Just look at people and look at their personalities and look at how they conduct business, because being in your wedding is like conducting a business. You need people who you can depend on. You need people you can count on. You need people who are going to stand true to their word and do what they say they're going to do. People who look at the way they conduct their own business and know that that is how they would conduct themselves in your wedding. Guys didn't really give me as much problem, but they don't communicate as much. So really, with the guys, you just need to tell them what to do, when to do it, and what time to be there. That's pretty much all you need with them. As far as the females, do not make the mistake I made. Do not ask opinions. It is your wedding. It is your wedding. When they are in your wedding, they know that they are in your wedding to do a favor to you. So I made the mistake of trying to be very accommodating, trying to ask a lot of opinions, trying to make sure that everybody was happy and satisfied, to the point where it stressed me out. I was beyond stressed out. Now, every one of my girls are great separately, but together it was the biggest headache. So anytime you're trying to collaborate with a number of women at once, it can go wrong. So just keep that in mind. Kids are going to be kids. They did very good in the wedding, but leading up to it, they were kids. I had a decent number of kids in my wedding, and I wouldn't have changed it, because they definitely were a good little added touch to the wedding. But keep in mind, when adding kids to your wedding, that they are kids, and kids will be kids. But again, remember, when picking your wedding party, make sure you pick people who are deserving. Everybody won't cooperate. Everybody won't do what you need them to do. If they conduct their business in a certain manner that you look at and shake your head, think about that when you put them in your wedding. If they're clueless about life in their life, that's how they're going to be with your wedding. Do a dress rehearsal before the wedding, maybe a few hours before, where you can see everybody, and make sure that everybody is dressed and looking the way you would like for them to look for your wedding. Because if not, you'll have a few surprises when you see everybody. And once it gets down to crunch time, you don't have time to fix things or get things aligned or in order. So just make sure that you get to see everybody other than your groom or your bride before the wedding, just to make sure that all the T's and I's are dotted and crossed, even with your wedding venue. You want to see it before the wedding. Now, I did not do a trial run with my makeup artist or my hairstylist. I kind of went out on a limb with that one, but I had great results. But I will suggest that everyone do a trial run, because you just don't want to get to that day and you're like, oh my goodness, what do I look like? Or, oh my goodness, this is all wrong. Have people who are willing to come to you, because if you're trying to run here and run there on your wedding day, it is not going to work. Now, I gave my people a little bit extra just because they were willing to come to me to do my makeup and do my hair. But just be prepared. Be prepared, and you want to have as many things right there at your grasp as possible. And if you're trying to make a lot of runs, even with your girls, a lot of my girls got their hair and makeup done the day of the wedding, and it just did not work out well. I wish I had just had all of them there getting it done at one time, just so I could have all hands on deck, because I did have a frugal wedding, and because it was a great deal DIY, we were trying to do bouquets and make sure party favors and everything were taken care of, and it just did not work out as intended with everybody all over the place. So do make sure you have your girls there with you and everything being done at once, or at least give them a time to be there and require that they do be there. Now, something I did not get to do that I regret a great deal is get to take a picture with each one of my guests, or get to speak with each one of my guests. I wish I had been able to do that. And another thing I didn't get to do is review my venue before the wedding actually happened, which is another thing that I wish I had done, because there are some changes I would have made with that as well. But water under a bridge now. But do make sure that you get to take pictures with a great deal of your guests, because you do want to be able to look back at it and look back at those moments. When my situation happened with my DJ, it really just threw me off a great deal. But there were people there who I didn't expect to be there. Way more people than we invited, and it just would have been nice to take a picture with each one of those people who took time out of their day to come share in our moment. So make sure you do that. Speaking of wedding guests, do not let your guest list go over a large amount of what you expect, because you have to pay for per person to eat. A lot of these people won't care whether you make it or not. They won't care the success of your marriage. They're just coming to be nosy. So set a number, know who you want to invite, and stick to that. Once you let that obligation, well, I knew them back in 2003, kick in, you'll find yourself adding more and more people who you'll waste money on invitations because they either won't show, they'll show and won't bring gifts, or they'll just come to be nosy and don't care whether you make it or not. So don't fall victim feeling obligated to invite a whole lot of people, because, I mean, you know who you want to be there. You know who's important to you and your husband, and that's all that matters.